35%. That's how many fewer international student permits Canada has decided to grant this year. What's more, next year the number will go down by 10% further. In today's episode of Straight Up by edX Live with me, Seema Rajpal, we speak to an expert to decode why Canada made this move. When Prime Minister Justin Trudeau took to social media platform X on September 19 to make this announcement, Indian students were in for a shock. The Canadian PM posted, and I quote, "Immigration is an advantage for our economy, but when bad actors abuse the system and take advantage of students, we crack down," unquote. It may be noted that currently approximately 4,27,000 Indian students are enrolled in Canadian institutions. What does this announcement mean for Indian students? Let's try and understand this with the help of an expert from ETS, the body that conducts exams like GRE and TOEFL.
I wouldn't call it a crackdown. I would say that it's a normalization which is happening in Canada, primarily driven by the socioeconomic reasons, because you need to support these international students as they travel into the country. And these are right, I would say this is the right recalibration that the Canadian government is doing in terms of ensuring that the students that they can support in Canada are kind of right-sized. That said, the quality of higher education in Canada still stays in terms of its outcomes. And what I would also like to add is that besides the cost of education being competitive compared to US, very competitive in fact, compared to US, there's also a near-shore opportunity wherein students, after their completion of studies, can work in US corporations who have got large bases in Canada. So Canada as a market, as a country, holds tremendous value for students who are evaluating Canada as a study abroad destination. In general, Indian students, irrespective of destination country, STEM, especially science, technology, engineering courses are most popular. And that goes with Canada as well. So even in Canada, STEM courses are the most sought after by Indian students. And for all the right reasons, because that's where a lot of investments and opportunities are emerging. That said, besides STEM programs, I would say that management is the second big draw for Indian students in Canada. And there are a lot of good B schools in Canada that offers very high quality management education in Canada. So I think these are the two big domains where Indian students in general, but also for Canada, really look for while studying in Canada. In terms of alternative destinations, I would say that there are traditional alternate destinations and there are new emerging alternate destinations. Traditional destinations being US, UK, Australia. I would say these are three traditional study abroad destinations in addition to Canada. And each of these countries have got their own, I would say, advantages and some disadvantages while evaluate one of them as an alternate destination. Of them, I would say that the most stable amongst the three conventional or traditional destinations would be US, because from a policy standpoint, there are no changes per se in international student related policies in US, and optional practical training for STEM programs and STEM designated programs up to 3 years is a very attractive proposition for Indian students looking to study abroad. Because from what we know, one of the key determinants for students while deciding on a study abroad destination is then ability to work post their studies. And I think that's where US at the moment has got a distinct advantage, especially in terms of policies, especially in terms of the growth in the economy, which kind of offers more opportunities for students looking to study abroad. In terms of emerging destinations, A few destinations that cross my mind would be in Europe, countries like Germany. Given two things that have happened in Germany, there's a lot more focus on English taught programs. So there are a lot of programs now which are taught in English. So that creates a lot of benefit for students from India. And second is obviously Germany is very engineering focused. So best of engineering companies have come from Germany. So I think that essentially aligns to the STEM programs. Besides Germany, I would say the other key destinations which I would recommend would be Ireland. Ireland is again very high on technology, very good and friendly international student policies, and a lot of multinational corporations, a lot of these tech companies having their large bases in Ireland. The third I would say is something close home to India, which would be Middle East, UAE. A lot of US, UK universities have their branch campuses in these countries, so there's a lot of cultural affinity uh, being close to India. Along with that, the cost of education is lower, and at the same time, you have an international university which is offering a similar program closer home. So that I would also like students to consider as part of their evaluation process while studying abroad. In terms of future predictions of Canada, while I don't have the crystal ball, but from whatever I am seeing, I feel that Canada would stabilize in the range of 425 to 440,000 students annually, international students to be taken annually. And I believe that in that range, as I said earlier, in terms of supporting these international students and the socioeconomic factors would also play in tandem to really give a very vibrant and a supportive environment to these students, not just while they are studying, but also in terms of post-study work opportunities. Canada has some landmark, I would say, and a very and distinct international student policy, SDS, which is a student direct scheme, which is very unique in Canada. No other country has a similar scheme, wherein 14 countries have been identified from where students can apply through the SDS route. And what that really helps is that you can get a visa in 20 days, and the success rate of an SDS visa is probably 3x of a normal visa. And that gives a very unique advantage to students applying to study in Canada. TOEFL is one of the approved tests for SDS. And by the way, TOEFL is also accepted by 100% of Canadian institutions. So somebody taking TOEFL, which is the world's most widely accepted test, also gives a unique advantage that they can apply to a Canadian institution through the SDS route, which gives them a very high probability of success in terms of a Canadian visa in a very short span of time.
That's all we have for you today. We will see you again next time. Do mask up and stay safe.